The Wednesday, May 17th, 2017 regular business meeting of Pasadena Area Community College District will come to order. Roll call, please.
Dr. Selvage?
Here.
Dr. Fellow?
Here.
Mr. Osterling? Ms. Brown?
Here.
Mr. Hilsman? Mr. Martin?
Here.
Ms. Waugh?
Here.
Ms. Garipian?
Is there any public comment on closed session items? Thank you. We will have a closed session, Government Code 54957, evaluation of employee, superintendent president, and Government Code 54957, public employee appointment. We will now convene in closed session in an adjacent room. Thank you. The Wednesday, May 17th, 2017 regular meeting of the Pasadena Area Community College District will come to order. We have met in closed session and have no reportable items. Roll call, please.
Dr. Selvage?
Here.
Dr. Fellow?
Here.
Mr. Osterling?
Here.
Ms. Brown?
Here.
Mr. Hilsman? Mr. Martin?
Here.
Ms. Waugh?
Here.
Ms. Garipian?
Here.
Thank you. All please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Dr. Verdian, will you please lead us? The larger one is here. The large one.
Please repeat after me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Do any trustees have any requests to reorder items on the agenda?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That passes 6-0-1 with the advisory vote aye. Now, Dr. Verdi, should we mention now that we're pulling the item when we get to it?
We get to it.
Okay, fine, thank you. At this point, we would like to introduce and recognize some very important guests at this board meeting, which we're holding here at the Rosemead Annex campus. We have representatives from the Rosemead School District and Temple City Unified School District. Beginning with Rosemead School District, Superintendent Dr. Amy And Tomoto Perez, could you please introduce yourself and your board members who are here?
Our board president, Mr. Jonathan Grenier, and member of the board, Mr. Ryan Mescal.
Thank you. Is there anything you would like to address, say to the board at this point? You have more than 3 minutes if you like.
On the agenda to present, so I'll save my 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you. And Superintendent Barrini.
Good evening.
Yes.
Thank you for welcoming us this evening. I'd like to introduce Dr. Paul Marietti, who will talk to you about our career technical education and some of our partnership work with Pasadena City College.
Okay, thank you. Okay, at this point, we're going to have a presentation from staff on the Rosemead site and our operations here since we've opened this facility.
Good evening. Hello, everybody. How's everybody today? Found us okay? Excellent. Well, I will, first of all, thank the board for coming over to Rosemead, and I'm very honored and proud to host you all here tonight. I am Dr. Raquel Torres-Retana. I am the director here at the Rosemead site, and I've been here since January of 2015, and the site first opened in October of 2013. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on our slide here. There are some handouts of the slide, of the PowerPoint right off to the side if anybody would like them. But as I mentioned, we did open in 2013 in the fall, and we opened with only an 8-week session, so it was a little bit smaller with the intention of offering general education courses that would lead to certificates, degrees, and or transfer. Since then, we have extended the type of courses that we offer here at Rosemead. We have that listed right here. So again, we've been watching what types of classes do well here, and we've made a few changes since we first opened. One of them being at the very bottom, you'll notice that we started incorporating our non-credit. Because of the community in our surrounding area, we had a high need for individuals, adult learners, who wanted to acquire the English language, and so we did start offering the ESL courses through the non-credit division that was not first offered when we first opened. And then on the right-hand side, you'll see the program. So all of those courses that we offer lead towards a certificate of achievement in either business, an Associate of Arts for transfer in sociology, Associate of Science for transfer in business administration, and then the 3 Associate of Arts also allowable here from the business, humanities, and social and behavior science. At the very bottom, you'll see we are open as early as 7 o'clock in the morning with our first classes, and we keep our doors open till as late as 10 o'clock at night, from Monday through Thursday for our students. So we really are fully utilizing the facility and offering courses all throughout the entire day. To show you a little bit about our enrollment data, this is only for the falls. We started in fall 2013, followed by fall 2014, 15, and 16. And so we'll have the total number of enrollment that we had for that fall semester, followed by the head count. And so the head count is, again, just the number of students that are here. And then how many of those students are for the credit courses, and how many of those students are for our non-credit. Again, ESL being the only non-credit courses that we offer here. I'll let you kind of let that sink in a little bit with our enrollment data. You'll see an increase, a steady increase from year to year. We had a little bit of a dip. This next slide has, this is by academic year, and it'll show the sections that we're offering. So how many courses are we offering per year? What's our census fill rate? Which is, again, creeping up. You'll see that we are utilizing our space very well and really filling up those classes. And then our FTS, our full-time equivalent students, and what does that look like? And then followed by our faculty, how many of our faculty are adjunct and how many of our full-time faculty members. And in the next slide, I will share a little bit. We have 2 full-time faculty members that have chosen to teach only here at Rosemead. And so that is Eloy Zarate with history, and Social Science Division, and then Christopher Strinden, who's with our Math Division. So those are the two full-time faculty members that are only teaching here. We do have more full-time faculty members that go back and forth. They're over at the Colorado campus and also here, so they're going back and forth. But in terms of what do we offer here, what can the students expect to find here at our facility? We've increased counseling. We started with counseling, and we are now having counseling Monday through Friday. Students love it. We even have non-Rosemead students, with regular PCC students, who call us and want to come over. We offer tutoring in English, writing, and math. We have our admissions and records person here. We have most of our faculty, if not all of them, have their instruction office hours here. We started implementing our pathways. So we now have a Pathways College 1 courses. We actually have 2, and that was available. We first brought it through our equity grant, and now that's being covered through our SSSP funding. We do offer the student services. We were able to write a grant so that we can offer our students free coffee, as you saw when you walked in. You can have yourself a cup as well. I won't card you or anything. That's the Lancer card. We obviously have free parking for our students. All of our classrooms are equipped with they're smart classrooms. So as you can see here, this is what our typical classroom will look like. Not this large, of course, but they all equipped with smart equipment. We do have a quiet study room, and then our student center was something actually after the last time I presented to the board, I believe 2 years ago, there was a talk about what are we doing with our students, and so we were able to open up the student center, brought in some microwaves, a television, of course that's Wi-Fi, so that provides our students a little bit more of a relaxed environment. And then our staffing, again, we've increased our staffing since we first opened our doors, and so that really supports our students and the services that they need. Students' demographics, it's very interesting to see what type of students are here. This is broken down by ethnic background and very much reflective of the community that we are in, surrounding this community. Our students are majority Latino or Asian American, which again, it's very reflective of the surrounding community. And then finally, our student success and retention. Looking at the last 3 years that we've been here, our success rate, that is students who are completing their coursework with a passing average, and then our retention, they're completing their courses and returning. And that's Chris. He's right there in the audience. There are also other programs that we do within the community. Dual enrollment is one of them. We are working with some of our local high schools that are, it's not housed here particularly at Rosemead, but it is a service that Pasadena City College provides to some of our local high schools in the community. Right, that's my presentation.
Thank you very much. Trustees, Trustee Wah?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Torres. So what do you think counts for the dip that we had between this school year and last school year? Right, but what was the reason for the enrollment dip?
Well, and I think this, we did offer less sections. And I think this also, if we look at the total enrollment for the entire college, I think we also experienced a dip just college-wide. I need to double-check that, but I want to say the last time I saw that, it was pretty consistent. So we did see a dip in sections, and I think just overall, we saw a little bit of a dip. We also changed we looked at courses that were not completely being filled. And so so when we saw the reduction in course sections, we were starting to look at classes that were not filling and looking at how we might be a little bit more creative. So that also explains our fill rate. So even though we were offering less sections, our fill rate went up because we were able to maximize on the classroom space. But I think in doing that, we also lost a few, the enrollment went down because we weren't offering as many sections.
Didn't the FTEs
Yeah,
go
the
up?
EPSs were up
Yeah.
because even though we are offering fewer sections, yet
Yes, here it is.
the FTEs generated is 1,217. So we that may be that students are taking
You have
more
less
units.
students
Yeah,
taking more
More
classes.
classes.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was looking at the head count,
At
the
a higher,
enrollment data.
at a higher efficiency,
Okay,
right,
Right.
so.
and then what are the, so you had an increase in the certificates that were, in the certificates and the degrees that we're offering, so what were those, what are those areas in? Or, and how does that relate to the workforce industry sectors?
Well, what we did, we on my end, we did an analysis of the courses that we were offering because we wanted to be able to work with the counselors here to tell the students, these are the courses that are consistently offered here. Since we haven't been here for very long, students wanted to know what, if they're doing some ed planning for 2 years out, they wanted to know what they can take here. And so we were able to identify that consistently, these were the courses that we were offering and that it would fulfill that piece of it. And then on that end too, you can look, the business piece is that, the certificate as well. And I believe there's going to be a more information coming up as well in doing a survey in the community.
So, a quick question on your slide, the enrollment data slide, and that is, what's the difference between the column that's labeled total and the column that's labeled head count?
This is the piece that we talked, that Trustee Martin talked about earlier. The students who have, the head count is how many individual students are here, and so a student may choose to take multiple courses here. So that's where you would see the difference.
That's the course total.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Got it.
that
Thank
was
you.
confusing, yeah.
So the head count is unduplicated students.
That number's lower,
Got
so
it.
it's a
Thank
little
you.
confusing.
Yes. Trustee Brown?
Yeah, well, I just really want to say how impressed I am with the work that's going on over here.
Thank you.
I remember when we first talked about this, it was like, oh, this is not going to happen. Really, there were rumors that it wasn't going to happen. And this is like so impressive and encouraging to see the amount of students, the amount of classes that is going on. I watch the students as they walk in. It is just breathtaking. Trustee Martin, I'm very jealous. This is beautiful, and I really applaud you guys, like the way you're watching what's needed. You've incorporated the ESL because the community needs it. It's all about community, and it's all about what the people need, and I'm very impressed.
Thank you. Thank you.
Trustee Wah?
I did want to ask, on your dual enrollment, so I know we have an MOA with Temple City and with El Monte, so what is our dual enrollment? What are the numbers for that?
Well, I have them right here.
Yeah, you have 2 slides, right? Yeah.
Well, we updated this presentation, so let me see if they're here. Let me see.
I didn't see
They are
them.
not here, no.
They were here originally. I think in the effort of time, you can,
We did, and we modified it, but let me, I'm sorry. Right now, for our, at South El Monte High School, we have, for spring 2017, I'm sorry, for Temple City High School for spring 2017, we have a head count of about 98 students. And I will make some copies of this too, so that you have this information. And it's broken down from fall 2015 through current spring 2017. And for our local schools, it would be South El Monte High School and Temple City High School, which kind of feed into our area here. But we're looking, when we first started South El Monte in 2015, we were offering 7 sections, and at Temple City, we were offering 1 section. That is now up to, at Temple City, that is up to 4 sections. So that the head count, again, the dual enrollment folks were able to make a nice chart, so make sure that I'll share that with you. Yeah.
So I did want to follow up and ask, so one of the objectives of dual enrollment is to increase that college-going culture for our high school students, and also to accelerate that exposure to higher education for our K-12 students. So do we have any, are we tracking what that success looks like from dual enrollment high school, and then continuation through completion and success rate.
Right. I will ask Vice President
Thank
Judy to
you.
answer that question.
Thank you, Raquel.
Thank you, Raquel.
We are starting to do that. The dual enrollment program is fairly new, so we're not going to see a lot of that yet, but those are things that we're interested in doing. We also are looking at our dual enrollment and how it has been built. AB 288 really extends that out to students that aren't thinking of higher education, as well as underrepresented students in higher education. And so what we're doing right now actually is building pathways that address the certain areas, so career technical education, transfer, college readiness, and increasing high school graduation rates. And those are the areas that SB 288 is addressing. And so we're in the process of developing a sequence of classes that will then be sharing with the high schools to start doing that. We didn't have specific sequences yet, and so that's part of what we're doing. And then we will also be looking at the data that you're asking for to see how the students that have already started in the dual enrollment, and what we're interested in is, do they come to PCC, but do they go on to higher ed? So we'd also like to know that they do go to college, even if they don't go to PCC. Is it increasing those numbers? And so those will be numbers that we'll be sharing with you in the not-too-distant future.
Great, thank you. I know it's new, but I just want to make sure that we're starting to collect that data and that we're
yes,
tracking it. Okay,
yes.
good.
Okay.
Yes. Trustee Martin?
So I had a question for Raquel. So I'm excited that there's a Rosemead Club,
Yes.
because obviously being in a club is an important part of Pathways, and being in Pathways makes life so much easier for our students. So can you share with us some of the things the Rosemead Club is doing?
So the Rosemead Club just started this semester. We have, again, I mentioned Chris is in the audience. So in the winter, during the winter intersession, he really took the initiative and started working on the paperwork. If you're not familiar with the paperwork for a student organization to become bona fide and recognized, it's quite the process. So we've held a couple of activities, and, well, they have, because it's student-owned. And so it's taken off slowly, like most student organizations. And it really came out of a conversation that I still hold a student advisory group, and I started to get some input from students. And so that was something that Chris really was drawn to, and he took the initiative to start the organization. I know one of the examples that they want to do is, well, they bring in some more the food services. So the pizza. They had a little pizza party and were able to distribute some pizza during the midterm season. They're looking at maybe beautifying our patio area, and we were able to put the patio benches out in that near the student center. So they're looking into a beautification project of maybe there's one plant of succulents out there. So really trying to improve that, and then also serving as a student voice. And again, I don't want to really direct their initiatives, because I think that's the beauty of a student organization, is that they have their voice and they're able to go to the Associated Students. The Associated Students came down here and they had a meeting here during this semester. So it really is much more of that partnership with the Student Association and with the Associated Students and our student organization, in making sure that there's a bridge with our student life between the Colorado campus and the Rosemead campus.
Thank you.
And I would just add, we're going to have Chris speak later as well,
Right.
the
good.
student, so we'll hear from him.
Any further questions, trustees? Dr. Barrini, do you have anything to add? Okay. I've got a couple of questions.
Okay.
What are the highest demand courses that we offer here?
Math. Math. The students really, our math classes fill up so quickly. We saw a little bit of dip in the higher level math, and yet we were able to, when we're watching them, and I work with the deans very closely as well to watch the enrollment. And if this past spring, we actually canceled one of our higher level math because it wasn't filling, and we replaced it with the Math 131. In 2-3 days, it was full. And so that continues to be our highest demand class. Economics is also very, very high in demand. We have an amazing adjunct lecturer here, and students, the buzz is just to take her, and her classes fill almost overnight. And so again, very, very, so those, as I'm watching the classes and which ones are highest in demand, it's really any math. Her economics courses, our humanities students, again, with some of our instructors here, our humanities courses will fill up in a couple of days. And so they do often go to ratemyprofessor.com, and the students really do talk about which are their favorite instructors in those classes. It's obvious, they're the ones that are filling, yeah.
Do all these math enthusiasts know that tomorrow PCC is holding Pi Day?
Yes, and next week, next Wednesday, we will hold Pi Day at the Rosemead Community Center, so you are all welcome to join us for Pi Day in the neighborhood.
I'm still confused. I thought that was March 14th.
So did
Yeah.
I'm like, all my circles are off.
Yes,
get it.
we're still using the Julian calendar, and it's slipped about a month and a half.
I know there's new math, you know?
So sorry, I will help you with that. I asked the dean, Carrie Starbird, about that,
Yeah.
and basically, we've been celebrating Pi Day for a while, and Pasadena City College actually used to celebrate it on March 14th, which is the official Pi Day. Because our spring starts late, the students in math are doing a lot of presentations and that sort of thing on Pi Day, and when it was on March 14th, it was too soon in the semester. So they moved it so that those activities could still occur, and the math department faculty insisted that they would still call it Pi Day even though it's not on March 14th.
That's okay. And
Feeling better already.
on Friday and Saturday, what are the activities and what goes on here, since we don't have a lot of classes on those
Right,
days?
and those are very quiet days. Friday is cleaning day, but we do, so our ESL non-credit program is offered on Fridays and Saturdays. And so Fridays, we will go as late as 5:30, 6 o'clock with our math courses. We actually offer
On
math.
Fridays?
On Fridays. We offer 2-day math courses here, so the student can take a math course on a Friday afternoon and come back Saturday morning and get their hours in. So on Saturday, our first class starts at 8 o'clock, and it goes till about 12:30. And so we keep our doors open till about 1 o'clock. So on Saturdays, we're seeing our ESL and our math students.
So a student wouldn't be able to do the complete curriculum to get an AA or an AS degree here by just what's offered here. Are the students that are taking the courses here just primarily the ones that live a lot closer and want the convenience of a shorter commute for those classes, but then they're going to the main campus for everything else?
We are now getting to the point where we are getting students who are only choosing to come here to Rosemead, and they're planning out, and this is why it was so important for us to do an analysis of the courses that we were offering, so that when they meet with their counselors, if they're telling their counselor, I only want to be at Rosemead, how long can I stay here? So they're able to plan that out. So, for example, we had our first cohort of pathway students last academic year. They are now second years. We have a handful of students who have not set foot on the Pasadena, Colorado campus at all.
Will they be able to finish up without setting
Well,
foot?
and so they're planning it to take their last semester. They probably shouldn't do that, but they're planning it to take their last semester over at the Colorado campus or taking an intersession. So that'll either be the summer, their summer class that they can just take one class over there because it's, summer or winter anyways. So again, we're having those conversations, and this is where I like to keep my finger on the pulse. I meet with students. We also do our every semester we do a survey so that I get a sense of what's going on with the student climate and what it is that they're asking for. And also that we also ask for zip codes. And Rosemead is our top city, and our surveys isn't all the population. It's not every student who's taking classes here. We take a sampling. And so we're still seeing that Rosemead is our top residents, but closely followed, Los Angeles is still up there. It's still within the top 5 every semester. So I'm having those conversations, and we're hearing from students in Lincoln Heights, and El Sereno, and Highland Park, in Monterey Park, that coming down the 10 is so much easier. And so we are still hearing that from the students, or that they live in Alhambra, and the bus route on Valley Boulevard is only one bus. And so they are choosing to come to Rosemead for those issues of transportation.
Great, well, thank you very much. This has been
Sure.
extremely informative. Any last questions by the trustees? Okay, well, at this point, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's
Pleasure.
great to see the success, and I hope we'll have a lot more of it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, at this point, since we're here and you have us captive now, we'd like to hear from Temple City and Rosemead. If you've got any questions or anything you'd like to draw to our attention, Dr. Inamoto Perez.
Thank you. Well, first of all, let me say thank you for welcoming us, and Dr. Burdick was so kind to come over to Rosemead to see me and invite us, because he has said that typically, the high school is here and Almani Union is here, and we're the pre-K through 8th grade. So Muscateller Middle School is right down the street, and our district office is just down the block. So I've created a few slides, and I know I have 3 minutes. I'm looking at the clock.
You have as much time as you require.
So thank you. This is our Board of Trustees, and 2 of our members are here, Mr. Quintanilla and Mr. Esquivel. We did have 5 board members, but unfortunately, April 22nd, we lost one. One passed away. So we typically have a 5-member board, but right now we're at 4. So I just wanted to acknowledge and thank our hardworking board members for being here. There was I had points to address, and one was like a brief information or history. So I thought, since you're here in Rosemead, that I would just share that we're 158 years old. So I started as a teacher in Rosemead School District, and Marilyn Kuiper, who's like our matriarch, helped develop this guide. But it's interesting because if you look at the pictures here of who's on the cover of the Guest, Steele, and Rose family, when we get to demographics, you'll notice that it's a little bit different than that. So we were founded in 1859, and a lot has changed since the 1800s. So in 1963, there was another study done. Another artifact, you'll notice it's memoed, and it's a survey or a study on future planning for the Rosemead, Almani, Mountain View, Vallalindo, and the high school district on potential unification. So I guess that didn't happen because we're still the configuration that we are. But I was looking at the data in here, and at that point, when we talk about demographics, our Rosemead School District was 98.7% white and 1.3% non-white. Then in the 1980s, I think that's when our demographics really started to shift, because that was the end of the Vietnam War in 79, and we started to have the boat people who came to Rosemead. I think really the genesis of that was we have had a very Catholic community, and so even though families were sponsored in Boston or Texas or other places in the United States, I noticed our students and families started to gravitate here because they were getting sponsors in California, a little bit weather closer to what they were experiencing in Vietnam. And sort of also what kind of unraveled, I think, out of that time, it was learning for myself, was that we had the boat people, the Vietnamese immigrants, who were nationally on their passports Vietnamese, but also ethnically Chinese. So those were the folks who came over in the 80s, and that started to change the demographic. I want to say in 1981 we had one student in our district who was Asian. And now, as you go forward, 1990s, when Hong Kong started to change from the United Kingdom to the Republic of China, that's when the stories came of folks coming to buy houses in cash, with suitcases full of cash. And so folks could say, okay, I'm going to sell my house, and they got it in cash, in dollars. So today we are now 51% Asian, we're 39% Latino, Hispanic, 5% other, and then really 5% declined to state. So we were talking about, we're not truly like 10% other, but there is a 5% that some do not want to state ethnicity. And our ADA is very good. I know you go by ADA also, I think, or average daily attendance. We're at 98%, so we have really great attendance. So our relationship really is Rosemead High School that you normally probably work the most with. And for us, we're pre-K through 8. So Muscatel Middle School down the street here is our middle school with 660 students in grades 7 and 8. We have 80 students enrolled in the AVID program, Advancing Via Individual Determination. It's for first-time college-going students. So this is hugely important when, 1 out of every 3 students is an English learner and probably new to the country. We have Muscatel down the street who has one-to-one Chromebooks. We've reduced class sizes in our elementaries because of language, because of socioeconomics, because of special needs, to 24-to-1 pretty much K through 6. And then we're about 26-to-1 actually with our intervention classes that we have at Muscatel. At the high school, I just wanted to share today we had one of what we call our CALS meetings. So 6 times a year, even though we're not unified as Temple City, we meet as the feeder schools and the elementary schools and the superintendents, the high school principals, and our middle schools. And I met Cynthia earlier, and I was explaining that our business partner in Rosemead for the last 8 years has been Panda Restaurant Group. So Peggy and Andrew Churn decided about 8 years ago that they wanted to do something philanthropic. And Peggy Churn actually was educated as an engineer, but she always wanted to be a teacher. So when she thought before recession she was going to retire from Panda, there came a phone call, and it was from her assistant, Winnie Chan, who I just got a phone call from today. And so we've all become Leader in Me, 7 Habits schools. So our students really, we focus on this. We focus on all of the academics, of course, but we focus on collaboration, communication, critical thinking, and creativity. I think I would invite you to come to any of our leadership days, and our students are really learning to extend the hand, and they will take you through school, and our principals will say, high schools have ASB, but every child in our school district is empowered to think about how he or she is great in his or her own unique way. And the principals will say, this is so exhausting because they have cabinets of 25 students who really talk about what they want to do to be engaged in school. Every child has a data notebook, so they can come and tell you where they started, how they're growing, what they need to work on. So it's been a really great partnership, and I was saying to Cynthia that the future, what Panda would like to do, and I was saying if we get this coordinated for next week, is what Panda has said to me is that they'd like to sponsor college counselors for the high schools. So that's really exciting because the Churns are fairly well off, as you probably know. And so the 3 girls all went to private school. And I'm hearing the story is that they were really surprised that in public high schools, the students don't get the same kind of counseling as they would, like, let's say, in a Pasadena private school. If they're going to go to Ivy League, like Mayfield, et cetera, the counseling is different. So I think that is going to be potentially the focus of future partnerships, because they'd like to see our elementary students go to high school to get great counseling, to go to college. So Cynthia and I said, well, we'll be talking. She already sent me her email. And so that instead of the feeder elementaries, K-8, meeting with the high school 6 times a year, maybe PCC can come join us, because the promise that I went to, and thank you again for having us, so exciting. I shared it already with our school board. One of our board members is excited about that as a potential for her daughter at Rosemead High School. So the more we collaborate, I think the more we can help change that mindset too of our students who maybe their parents have not been to college and it's not something that they know how to easily get to. Future relationships, we have an achievement gap. There's a Texas program called Project Males that really focuses on males. Females are now outperforming males in math, which would not have been the case in my day. So I was talking to Chris, so we've been networking, and Chris said that he has the volunteer club that he would like to work on and partner maybe with us, because we're right down the street. And our district office is right down the street. So we're talking about maybe the volunteers from here would like to maybe walk down a block and work with our students to help with the achievement gap in our AVID tutors. So we've already made lots of connections. So thank you. And then summer programs. We do offer a summer camp. It says Savannah Elementary, but it is for our whole district. We would like to offer that to anybody here or that you know of. It's from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. It's $85 a week. Breakfast, lunch, and a snack is included. We have field trips and all sorts of other great things. And certainly, I was looking at something for a private school. It's like $295 a week. Wow, ouch. So we wanted to share that. Hope you'll share that with PCC staff when you get back home. And we welcome everybody from anywhere. It does not have to be Rosemead School District. So I want to say thank you. And if there are future partnerships we can join in on, I know you work with Arcadia with a reading clinic, et cetera. We would love to be joined as partners and bring whatever humbly we can bring. And I know you have so many resources that we could certainly use, and we would be grateful for whatever we can do as partners.
The 98% attendance average, that's extraordinary.
It
isn't
is.
it? For
It is. You know, we
Public
have really good principals, teachers, et cetera, and we do have a very high attendance rate. It's good and bad, except when we have something like the flu going around, right? But no, we have 98%, and we're pretty high, so our kids love to come to school, and our parents are very supportive.
Parental involvement is one of the most important factors. Some will say the most important factor in student success.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have parent education workshops every year, and Cynthia said she would like to come over and talk with our parents, so we're already kind of networking. This has been fascinating. I'm taking lots of notes and names, and so, the more we could work together, because this is really right in Rosemead's backyard, the better it would be for all of our students. So thank you for this opportunity.
Trustee Osterling.
One question. Do you have any candidates at Muscatel Middle School for dual enrollment with PCC?
I think we might, because, we have students. I was talking to one of our parents who's very active, and she was saying she's very aware that the community colleges offer classes like for 8th grade and on, if they're, so her daughter right now is in 7th grade, but she's looking forward. She says she checks her catalog every year, and next year when Karen is in the 8th grade, she will be looking at classes that could be there for dual enrollment.
I was just kidding, but bring them on.
Yeah, no.
Dr. Barrini
Well,
has
I'd like
a,
to add something on that. I mean, we
clarification.
can do concurrent enrollment with
All right.
K-8, but that will require your signature, and the student will have to meet with one of our deans to see whether that student will benefit from instruction
Got it,
at a
yes.
college level. So that's called concurrent enrollment,
Yes.
and that is possible for students in the middle school.
Well, even though we're two separate districts, with Rosemead High School being part of Almani, we do work together. So if we have students who are able to take high school courses, they do go over for the math courses at Rosemead High School. So we would love to partner with the college.
And I just wanted to say, it's not too far-fetched. For many years, I think the San Marino student who was the ambassador on the cover for dual enrollment for PCC was a 13-year-old. So not too
True.
far-fetched.
We have had not dual enrollment, but we have had early entry into like Cal State at 13 and 14.
Right. And I just wanted to say thank you, Dr. Yamamoto. And the Chungs are actually constituents in Area 5, and so I'm so glad to hear that they are participating in the educational success for your district.
They have been very generous. So the Leader in Me program is now nationwide, but this is something they want to do for us because I think we've been good partners. And so I think to have more advisement for kids going to college, and you just need to know I'm an advocate for community college. I think you all do a fabulous job. My daughter went to community college. She went on to UCLA, and she got her master's from Fullerton in nursing. So I think community college is a wonderful program, and I highly advocate for it wherever I go. I think you all do a good job, and so thank you for providing that for our community.
Thank you very much. Now, Temple City, Superintendent Barrini.
Well, good evening once again. It's our pleasure to be here and share with you the outstanding things that are occurring in the Temple City School District. some of which in a big part are because of our relationship with Pasadena City College. Just want to digress for a minute. Our partnership actually grew out of a relationship that I formed with Trustee Waugh. I'm a member of the Pasadena Tournament of Roses, and we were seated at a luncheon together. I was representing the Pasadena Tournament of Roses, and of course, Trustee Waugh, whenever she has a captive audience, talks about the incredible things going on at Pasadena City College. At that time, I was elementary school principal, and so I was excited, but unlike my friend Amy, I didn't have any elementary kids that could go concurrently to Pasadena City College. So when I became superintendent 3 years ago, and Linda and I have kept in contact, and then the great leadership that you brought in Dr. Verdian, we were excited and encouraged about the opportunities for our students in the Temple City School District. And so because of that, I created a position called School to Career Enrichment Programs. And Dr. Marietti has taken over the helm of that development. And so our intent is from TK through 12th grade, including our after-school extended learning program, that our students have the opportunity to talk about college and career. And so Dr. Marietti is going to talk a little bit about some of the work that we're doing with your fine organization, and then some of our hopes as we move forward. And then lastly, I'll share, and Dr. Marietti will elaborate a bit more on it, that just the other evening we were at the Gold Ribbon Awards for the California Department of Education for both our junior high and high school. And actually our promising practice was the dual enrollment program with Pasadena City College that we were awarded the Gold Ribbon for. So with that, I'll say, I'll welcome Dr. Marietti. Thank you.
I'd like to thank the board for inviting us here this evening, and I do want to apologize. You're going to get about 3 minutes of the back of my bald head. Temple City High School, Temple City Unified School District, we have been excited and continue to be excited about the partnership we have with Pasadena City College and the programs that we brought into especially significantly into the high school. Temple City High School has, for the last 2 years, been involved in the Career Technical Education Incentive Grant. And so the money's coming in to revamp our old regional occupation programs that many high schools had for many years, and to turn them into rigorous college and career pathways. And so that's what we've been doing, and I think really the crown jewel of the program has been Dave Dickey's engineering program at Temple City High School. That program is a recipient of the Career Technical Education Incentive Grant. It's also dual enrolled with Pasadena City College. It did receive, as Superintendent Barrini mentioned, the Golden Ribbon from California. A matter of fact, during the presentation to the visiting committee, one of the presenters was a former special education Temple City High School student who went through the engineering program and is now on the campus of PCC, involved in the engineering groups and clubs on your campus. So really proud and excited of what the engineering students are doing. Those students are going off to higher ed, UCLA, and many of the hard-to-reach universities within our state. And in addition to Dave Dickey's engineering pathway, we are also developing woodworking pathways in which students can eventually get into shop management and receive their OSHA certification. We also are working on fashion merchandising and marketing, a pathway, a sports medicine pathway. And so right now we're in the process of reforming those curriculums so that they meet CSU UC A through G approval, and working with developing advisory boards with industry sector partners, so that they are giving us advice on what's going on out there in the industry and helping us to modify and revamp and work with our curriculum so that it is as much as up to date as possible. And then the development of job shadowings and internships for our students in those pathways. And many of our courses, well, we talked about dual enrollment, but we also have articulated courses within with PCC, within our program. And one of the courses is our freshman seminar course, and that's for all of our freshmen that come in, and that's Get Focused, Stay Focused, the name of the curriculum, and that's really focusing on developing a 10-year college and career plan for our students, and doing job inventories, surveys, trying to find out where the areas of interest are, showing them a path to careers, and really trying to flip the idea of picking a college, picking a major, and picking a career to picking a career, picking a major, and picking a college. And so that's really something that we worked very hard on with our freshman seminar class. The other thing I'll say is Dave Dickens Engineering also has industry certification through the CAD program. So we're really excited about the programs we have. It does start early on through our robotics programs in the elementary schools, through our STEAM and STEM programs in the elementary schools, and then getting kids to really have an awareness of career education, understand that college, going straight to a UC or CSU may not necessarily be for them, that there are pathways that involve industry certification. There are pathways that involve career technical education and community college also. So we're really excited about the partnership we have, and we look forward to growing the program and developing it in the future. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Trustees, are there any questions? Trustee Wong.
So I'm really pleased to hear about the progress of CT, and I just have to say I really just enjoyed knowing Superintendent Barrini, and she's one of those people, the minute that we find these initiatives, she's just right on it, and so it's great to see Temple City has really embraced this. So one of the questions that I've had is, for the high schools, how closely then are you articulating to the industry sectors that have been identified through the State Chancellor's Office and at our regional level to what you're doing in high school? And then how far down into your K-12s are you pushing this awareness, I think, of opportunities, career opportunities?
So the career opportunities, really begin in the elementary level with all the, we have programs both within the school day and outside of the school day. So some of the programs that are involved, that we do in the elementary school consist of Lego Leagues and the robotics, Odyssey of the Mind, a Makerspace, the Science Olympiads and things like that we're doing both outside and within the school day. In the middle school, we have Paxton Patterson, and we have a Paxton Patterson wheel where the students will do 2 to 3 weeks of exploration in a different in a different area of study, and so they're getting exposure through the Paxton Patterson wheel. And then as a freshman, doing the freshman seminar, which is the Get Focused, Stay Focused exploration, and then they would go into a pathway with an introductory and a concentrator and a capstone course, and then that capstone course would provide them with a industry sector, hopefully. And that was the path. And your first question was?
So how closely are you articulating to the state?
Correct. So we have a challenge in which we have regional occupation teachers who teach subject matter. So for instance, woodworking, which was wood shop, which was a typical ROP course, is now becoming woodworking with an emphasis on shop management, which we've done the exploration on the industry sectors, and we find that within the context of having a credentialed woodshop teacher, that would be a pathway and that would be an industry sector where there are jobs that students can explore. So really taking what we have, keeping in mind that we have to take what we have and we have to grow it then into an industry sector that is accessible to the students. The arts, media, design, those positions are out there. With our fashion design and marketing, it has an emphasis on small business and marketing, which is an industry sector that's growing too. So we're trying to take the sections we have and the courses we have and the credentialed instructors we have and really moving them into industry sectors where there are growth and jobs for our students.
Thank you. Good job.
Trustee Osterling.
Quick question. How do you, in your job shadowing and internship program, how do you conduct that and deal with child labor laws?
So, job shadowing and internship can be a couple different ways. Right now, we're mostly doing on-site job shadowing and internships, which means we're bringing industry sector individuals onto our campus. My understanding and my experience, having led a California Partnership Academy, is we can send students out into those offices with agreements and MOUs with those industries. But I would have to look into that a little bit further. But I know we've done it, and we do it, and we have done it.
Thank you.
Any other questions, trustees? I'd like to mention just one thing. I went to a meeting of the Urban Land Institute this morning downtown LA, and ULI is the most prestigious land use and real estate organization by a mile in the world. This program this morning was on the San Gabriel Valley, and so PCC is not in the business of doing real estate development, that sort of thing, but the people that are really take a close look and really understand the markets where they're operating. And so we had some residential developers, commercial developer represented, and they talked all about the market and what they saw going on in the San Gabriel Valley, which is of interest to us since this is where we're located. But one thing they mentioned in particular, I just wanted to mention to both of you that districts that educational quality, the quality of the public schools is one of the things that the residential developer specifically mentioned about an attractive aspect of San Gabriel Valley, and there are school districts ranked all over the place, but they have a real close pulse on what the people out there who are going to buy their houses think. And I just wanted you to know that these people who really know what's going on out there believe that your efforts to deliver a quality education have not gone unnoticed.
Yeah.
So I wanted to congratulate you on that.
Thank you.
It was good to hear. Thank you very much. Okay, now Chris, head of the Rosemead Club, would like to take a couple of minutes or longer if you.
Yeah, Chris, we have you listed as a non-agenda item, but I'm going to take some liberties here because really this is an extension of the presentation. We really like to hear from the
Okay,
students,
great.
so
I had my timer ready, but
I'm not going to put you, I'm not going to put you on the clock, and I would also.
No, you're not on the clock.
I would encourage the trustees to ask questions after your presentation.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, trustees, for allowing me to be here tonight. I feel fairly underdressed, but I'm glad to be here nonetheless. It's an honor, and I'm glad to be present at this meeting and for you guys to hear what I have to say about the Rosemead campus. So a little bit of background about me and how the club started. So I was a graduate from Arcadia High School, so I'm local. The first college class I ever attended was right here at Rosemead in one of these rooms in summer of 2015. And although I've taken classes at the Pasadena campus ever since, nothing has ever left as good of an impression or as great of an impression as the Rosemead campus, because coming from a high school with a large volume of students and going to Pasadena where there's also a large volume of students, it feels that here it's more personal, it's a more intimate environment, and I felt that I honestly really learned the best here. And so the origin of the club really came out of that love for this campus. So Raquel told you guys about the student advisory meetings. So these are meetings that she holds once every semester to get student suggestions on how to improve the campus, feedback about what can be done about the campus. So for me personally, sitting in on one of these meetings, there were only like 2 other people in the meeting. And that really, to me, kind of left an impact and told me that, okay, well, maybe I should start stepping in, taking action, and promoting this campus and promoting it to be, you know, a situation where Raquel has more people coming to her about suggestions on what can be done about the campus and really achieve that level of activism. And so to that, I made some off-the-cuff notes here. I don't have a PowerPoint or anything, but I just wanted to go ahead and make sure I covered all the points. And so to that, I worked with Raquel ever since the winter semester doing the paperwork, making PowerPoints, making white papers about, how we can deal with the club, what can be done about the club. And, I'm really honestly learning at the same time as well because I've never been in this leadership position before. And so we created the club, and the club was established officially, and I think some AS of people here can attest to that. And, me coming to them, bothering them, hey, have you done this yet? Do I need this? Do I need that? But it was established upon the foundation of us being a social and a volunteer club. So pretty much the social aspect of it would be to bring students back to the campus and connect them with each other. And also to bring students back to the campus and also provide them opportunities within the local communities for them to volunteer and get involved. And that's what I've done with the superintendent today to try to get a connection going with that. Honestly, I saw a lack of that, and I wanted to bring that here as a student and as a student voice, and act as a student voice here, because, Raquel she has done wonderful things, and she has been nothing but helpful and accommodating to me. But, her voice would be amplified and would be even better if I stepped in and there was a student to say, hey, boots on the ground, this is what I see. This is what I want to have happen because, I am here and I'm in the classroom. You guys are not, or not for a while at least. So right now, the road ahead for the club and me in general is getting people to participate. This is a 3-person club, so it's more of a committee than a club, but I'm not fazed by that. I am really open to receiving more people, more suggestions. Again, we're a brand new club, and even though we've established the foundation that we're a social and volunteer club, I want students to come in and give us their suggestions and give us their tips on what might be out there and be democratically centric and democratically focused, and that's really what I want to bring. And not only that, but also getting funding. We just had Chipotle stop down at the front counter earlier, and me as a student, it was brought to my attention and brought to me directly that, hey, we are having a fundraising opportunity for you guys, so I'm going to go ahead and contact him and see if we can get some funding down, because we do have great events planned. We do, in the patio area, we have a garden we want to start, so, funding is a big thing for us, and as with any student organization, funding is something that's important. And a third challenge for us is adhering to regulations. So AS has set regulations. I have to go every Friday to their ICC meetings. There's not one this week, but there's another one next week. Dealing with deadlines. The funding work was due already, unfortunately, so we have to wait until next semester. Things like that. And so that's really what I wanted to, express and really just, update you guys on what's going on here at the Rosemead campus in terms of student life and student voice. So I thank you, and if there's any questions, I'll take them now. Thank you very much.
Yeah, trustees, any questions? Student trustee.
So as associate students, I just wanted to commend you for all the hard work that you have done. I have attended several ICC meetings where I see you in the front, really ready to ask questions if necessary. And I think that's one thing that over the years I've grown to really value about community college. You do have that opportunity to really find something that you're passionate in and find something that you're committed in, which you obviously are with this club, and kind of take that from the ground up and make it grow into something phenomenal. And I know you're currently a first-year student, correct? So
I am a second going
in the
into
sense that
third
you
year.
will be here next year, correct?
Yeah, I'll be here.
Yes, exactly. So in the sense that you are here to make the club grow, and something that I would urge you to do is communicate with associate students, urge them to be here on campus more frequently. That's something this year that our board has been trying to do. We do a relaxation week every year during midterms, where we bring snacks, food, free scantrons, free pencils, and I would just really urge you to keep them to that task and let them know that as Rosemead, you are here, you do have students here, and that's something that the student government should be focusing on as well.
Thank you. It's glad to hear associate students has our back. Thank you.
And any additional questions? Trustee Martin, were you leaning to
Well,
the
I was going to make
microphone?
a comment, and that is just appreciate the energy, appreciate you're the George Washington of this group, so that's quite an honor and a lot of responsibility. To all of us, I would say we have thoroughly all enjoyed the success of this facility, and would not be here if it were not for people like John and Ron who had to leave, and many of the other locals who, back when we were doing our Ed Master Plan, came out to community meetings and said, it's important to have a presence here. And it would not be here if it were not for the El Monte Union High School District, who actually own this building and have been really phenomenal partners in that endeavor. And I just had one of those left brain, right brain moments when, like, why aren't any of them here? And then I said, oh yeah, they meet the exact same time we do. They're all in their own meeting over there. How are they going to possibly get here? So I know that, and it just didn't occur to me till I connected those dots. But if I can finish while they're not here, and I'm sure they're not watching the video, it would be good, especially for our local superintendents and for all of us students, when you are dealing with Superintendent Zwenga, or you're running into one of their trustees or in some environment, drop a word and thank them and tell them how well it's working and what an important part, you know, their contribution in collaborating with PCC has been to bring this campus here to do all the good that we saw. It would really help us if you guys could put the word in from the community level, what a great success it really is, so that when that time comes, we can continue it on and keep building it, and pretty soon we'll have more members in the club than you can fit in the room, and then what are you going to do? I don't know.
Yeah, thank you.
I was
Dr.
going
Medina.
to add, South El Monte had a meeting today at 5:30, and they were hoping the meeting would be over by 6:30, and they'd be here by 7. That meeting may have gone a bit longer, probably. So,
Trustee Ashley?
Yeah, Chris, I just wanted to commend you. It's great that we have this campus down here to serve this part of the district, and it's great that you're trying to create a community on the campus. And then just a quick suggestion, you need to wrangle your administration to get free pizza at your meetings, and your club will grow rapidly.
That's true.
Thank you.
Um,
I'd just like to add that your enthusiasm and the ideas you've got and your commitment to what we're doing here and being a part of all that is very, very impressive, and I'm really pleased that you've taken this on. The campus was approved by an action of the board, I think just 2 months before I was elected. I was elected in November 2013, and things started up just a couple months before that here. And you know, it started off kind of slowly, but when I see the figures, when I hear your enthusiasm and the data, and then I hear what our feeder districts are doing here, I mean, this place is a big success. This area, which seemed like it was a long ways away from campus, but it's part of the district, is really going to shine. So thank all the districts here and students, and tell your fellow students that you're doing a great job. And standing in the back, there's somebody who started our whole presentation here. Thank you very much, Raquel, for everything you've been doing here. Very impressive. Now, we are going to, let's see, approval of minutes is our next.
Thank you, Chris.
Okay, thank you.
Public comment, approval of minutes. We are going to continue the meeting with some basic mundane business activities I expect you're all familiar with. So if our guests, our VIP guests would like to depart, we will not be offended. Thank you very, very much for attending. Yeah.
Okay, a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second
All in favor, but advisory vote.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passes 6-0-1 with the advisory vote aye. Consent items. Excuse me? Oh, okay, yeah. Consent items, instruction. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Advice.
Trustee vote?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes 601 with the advisory vote aye. Consent items, business.
Motion to approve?
Second?
Is there one, is it this or is it the next?
Is
Yeah,
that
right,
this
right, yeah.
section or this section?
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Did we have a motion yet?
Yes.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Trustee Bello.
Aye.
Advisory vote, thank you. Motion passes 601 with advisory vote aye.
That's it.
Consent items, personnel.
Mr. President,
Yes.
we will pull and table F6 and 7. We will bring them back on June 7th.
Okay, thank you. Without objection, do I have a motion?
So moved?
A
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Advisory vote? Oh, excuse me, it's personnel. Trustees?
Aye.
Aye.
Passes 601. Information items, Superintendent President's report.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm really very impressed with the work we are doing at our Rosemead campus, and today was a very enlightening moment for us to get to see so many presentations and to listen to the superintendents and board members and our very own student. The very first thing I want to speak about today is I want to thank Trustee Linda Wah for making sure that we have the board policies on board docs. And thanks to the hard work of Ms. Mary Thompson, I am proud to say that every single policy of the Pasadena Area Community College District and every single administrative procedure is now on board docs. Not only on board docs, you can go in and type if you want pay rates in search, and the policies will show up in board docs. That every single policy relating to pay rates would show up. So this is a great achievement. It's a great moment in the history of our district.
Really.
And we should have,
I think we need to thank everybody, thank Mary and thank Linda for making sure that we have this taken care of. I would like to lend a hearty congratulations to our student trustee, Ms. Nune Garipian. At our last meeting, we were cheering her for being accepted to University of Southern California.
yes.
But since then, we have learned that she has been accepted at an Ivy League school, Yale University. And it didn't take her that long to say, what Phaeton are you talking about? Ms. Garipian will be attending Yale University this fall, and we thank you very much, Nune.
Thank you.
You make us proud, and we are proud of you. Best of luck as an Ivy Leaguer.
I spent a winter in Newport, Rhode Island. Are you sure you know what you're getting into?
No going back now.
Exciting.
And now to turn to the accomplishments on the athletic fields. Although PCC's baseball season came to a close last weekend, the entire campus is celebrating their first playoff appearance in 45 years.
We heard.
The Lancers ended the season ranked number 15 in the state. Now, our women's badminton team, the PCC Lady Lancers, has notched its first statewide championship in the 18 years we have offered badminton as a sport.
Wow.
This is our first statewide championship. Last Thursday, the team defeated Fresno City College 11-10 in a rematch of last year's championship. Our congratulations go to Coach Jen Ho and the entire team for this incredible achievement. Go Lancers, all right.
Yeah.
Lastly, I would like to highlight a couple of points that came out in a survey conducted by the New America Foundation last week. You may have seen this mentioned in news sources, but I will repeat them anyway. The survey asked a national audience for their views on our country's higher education systems. and whether our colleges and universities were delivering on their promise of social mobility and student success. As a whole, community colleges vastly outperformed their four-year counterparts, with 60% of respondents saying community colleges put students first, and 82% saying schools like PCC are worth the cost. We should all take heart that the public understands the value we provide to individuals and our community, and redouble our efforts to ensure we deliver on this promise to our students and their families. And this concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Shared governance, do we have shared? Oh. Ah, there you are.
Sheila.
Okay, yes. Sheila.
Hello, I just have a series of brief invitations to make, and I think that Jay announced these, but I just want to make sure that everyone knows that they're invited to our Academic Senate Student Scholarship Ceremony on Monday, June 5th. It will be immediately following our last Senate meeting of the year, so it'll start at 4:30. Freshmen, sir, please join us to honor our students. And then we will be honoring our RISER and Ralph Story and Unsung Hero Award winners and our retirees at our annual Senate banquet on Thursday, June 8th at 5 p.m. at Cabrera's Restaurant in Pasadena. So please join us there also. And then Pi Day has already been mentioned for tomorrow, which will be from 9 to 3 on campus with a campus-wide student research conference. But we also have our smaller spring cohort of Pathway students who will be presenting tomorrow from 12 to 1 at the Mirror Pools also. So if you do get a chance, you can hit both Pi Day and the Pathway Student Conference from 12 to 1 tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you.
President Selvage, should we have the shared governance reports come up so we get them on the record?
You have to repeat it all over.
No, I wasn't suggesting that.
Okay, classified?
I have nothing to report from classified Senate, but I do have an announcement for myself. I have been elected to represent the Southwest, the Forsyth Southwest District, as a executive board member.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you very much, and
Congratulations.
congratulations. Yeah, yeah. Student trustee. Announcements?
Anything else?
Wanted to thank Dr. Barrini for that surprising announcement. Just to give everyone an idea of kind of Yale's transfer process, they accept around 30 students, and out of those 30 students, only around 3 or 4 are from community college. And so I will definitely be a community college advocate. I can promise you that. I couldn't have gone to any of the schools that I applied to straight out of high school. This school has given me so many opportunities, and something that I would really love to do is come back and help the campus any way I can, because they've just done so much for me, and being here has been such a great experience. And I hope to take that with me when I move to Connecticut. And right? And just want to extend sincere thanks to this campus. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Brown?
Oh, I'm just so touched. Beautiful, congratulations. No, I do not have any report.
Trustee Wah?
That is just so beautiful.
Yes, I just wanted to report that we had a very successful joint caucus session. It was our first concurrent session at the league conference in Tahoe, and it was moderated by LACCD Chancellor Rodriguez, and so it was so well received that we've been asked to put on a longer conference at probably the annual conference coming up in October in San Jose. So I hope you'll all attend. And I just wanted, and I know this is probably Trustee Osterling's thing to say, but I'm going to say it anyway, because I really want people to come to the LACSTA meeting on the 22nd, so next Monday. We'll have Vice Chancellor Rodriguez giving the report on the May revise for the community colleges, and then we'll also have CSBA reporting out for the K-12s. And Trustee Osterling will be running for the president of that organization, so we should all come out and support him.
Thank you.
Trustee Martin?
I'm grateful to be here. I want to thank all the people over there and back there and around who did a lot of work to set up this meeting, because I know you have to go through a lot of extra work when we kind of take the act on the road. So thank you, and especially Raquel and team here and everything looking so wonderful. So thank you too.
Trustee Osterling.
Just to echo what Trustee Martin said, it's good to get out and see the other campus here for PCC, so thank you for organizing this.
Trustee
And
Fellow.
congratulations to Trustee Garipian.
But
Trustee
actually,
Fellow.
I want to also congratulate being a professor, the student trustee, and welcome to Connecticut, that's where I'm from, and you'll love it. It's a beautiful state. And I also want to congratulate all the students who'll be graduating PCC. I won't be with you this year because I have to return to Europe in 2 weeks. And I will be meeting with a lot of people from PCC, some foundation members. Dr. Mann will be there. And then I'm going to Milan to meet with Dr. D'Amico, because we're going to plan some fundraising efforts to help the PCC Study Abroad program. And so look forward to that maybe in the fall. So that should be good. So thank you.
Yeah. Well, congratulations once again to Trustee Garipian. You know, when I was accepted to Yale, I was really excited, but then the letter came through from SC. Finally, you know, that was just icing on the cake. I wanted to mention once again this program that I went to this morning, the overall topic of which was the San Gabriel Valley, and I mentioned that in particular the quality of the public schools in San Gabriel Valley is coming into people's mind as they decide where they're going to live, where they're going to buy homes. And this is people who build and develop homes who really, really look at this stuff closely. But they also talked about other factors, and the area is pretty healthy economically. At the end of the presentation by the panel, I asked a question about how they felt 8 years into a economic recovery, what they were doing differently, given that that's a really, really long recovery without a downturn. And basically, they're getting conservative as developers. They're putting a higher bar on what they need to achieve with their developers and being much more cautious. And we're not real estate developers, but we're doing the same thing. We're looking real hard at resources, and you know, Governor Brown tells you every time, man, the recession's right around the corner. So you know, we've got to be prepared for things. One comment that was made, if somebody says, well, it's going to be different this time, that means, you know, watch out, okay? So I want to mention one other thing. Today at noon, I went to the Carnegie Observatory headquarters. It's up on Santa Barbara Street, right off of Lake in Pasadena. I go to a monthly program there called Lunch with an Astronomer. And the lectures are fantastic, and you get to sit down with lunch and have lunch with them afterward. But a year ago, one of our PCC students, Sandy Moak, M-O-A-K, on her own as a walk-in, got an internship at the Carnegie Observatory. Now, the Carnegie Observatory is one of the most prestigious scientific and astronomical organizations there is. And this summer, there's a student from PCC named Bryce Van Ross. Now, I'm not sure if Van is his middle name or he's a Dutchman from Ross, but in any case, that's his name. And he is going to be an intern, PCC guy. He's going to be an intern there this summer. And he's in a program which extends opportunities to community college students to get internships with scientific establishments and that sort of thing. So he applied and he got accepted, and he's going to Carnegie right up here in Pasadena. So 2 years in a row. I mean, that's a big deal for students to become an intern at Carnegie observatories. So those are my comments. Any proposed future board business dates that we need to discuss?
Remind the board that the next meeting is on June 7th, and the meeting of June 21st is a spring retreat. There will be no business meeting on that day, so.
Okay, thank you. Proposed future agenda items. Are there any? Trustee Watt.
Yes, I don't know if I want to thank Dr. Verdi and Matthew also for sending over the Technology Master Plan link. I had a chance to go over it quickly. I don't know if the rest of the board has looked at it, but I do think that it's, I would hope that we would have a session where we could have a little more discussion about the master plan. And I think especially in light of the number of cyber attacks that have occurred, and in addition, one of our neighboring colleges, LACCD, was hacked and had to pay $28,000 in Bitcoin to recover their data. So I think it's an important item for us to maybe discuss a little more in depth. And then I also want to encourage that we take our board meetings out to other parts of our district, much like we're doing today. And I know many of us have K-12 districts who would welcome a chance to have us over there. So I'd like to encourage that for future board meetings.
May I add something on
Yes,
that?
Dr. Barrini.
Trustee Wah, we will be at the second meeting in September. We are working with Arcadia, and our goal is to have the second meeting of September in Arcadia, and that will be confirmed, I believe, the first week of June when I have an official meeting with the superintendent of Arcadia.
Thank you, Dr. Verdi.
Any further agenda items? Hearing none, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.